Orange team.
Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Mike.
Dan.
This is the Board Game Rundown. Today we are going to preview Reflections in the Looking Glass. This is a game designed by Ryan Opp, J. Ryan Opp, it says. So, you know, forgive me. Okay. And then it's too small for me to read the thing, but I think it's Electric Popper Games.
Electric Pepper.
Electric Pepper.
Ooh.
Well, there's a
Tim's
pepper on
very
the thing.
old.
There's a neon pepper
Good
there.
Lord, guys. And there's bright lights. I should be able to read it. Yeah, Electric Pepper Games. So anyways, this is an Alice in Wonderland theme game, which Mike automatically hates.
Yep.
So he won't like it. It's really fun, so Dan won't like it.
That's funny.
Okay, I got nothing. No, so Dan, you look ready. Why don't you tell me a little bit about Reflections?
Hi. Reflections is a two-player game where you're gonna have a like a setup card, scenario card, whatever you want to call it. I believe there are 5. You pick one of these and you set it up. As you can see, the board is a mirror. Everyone is gonna have a starting hand. Some cards will start out of the game so that you can't perfectly math everything.
Ascertain what's what.
And then basically, it's a drafting game where you're forcing a draft every turn. So if I say, I want this, as a matter of fact, I should look at my hand. Yeah, sure. If I want this card, then I take this one. So Tim has to take the mirror opposite. And then they just lay down in front of you so everyone can see the public sets that you're making. Now, your hand is private, though, so you see sets that you are slowly building throughout the game. So I might want to draft a certain amount of these because later I'm going to lay this down and add to it, and they don't know what I'm doing. On top of that, you have these little score sheets here. And so this is going to tell you that the sun cards, right, there's sun and moon cards. The sun cards are positives in the 1s and 3s and negatives on the 2s and 4s, and the moons are the opposite. So you're going to want to make your little sets like that. At the end, you'll just, honestly, the easiest way to pair them up is just take your 3 sunsets and 3 moon sets and pair them up. That's a net zero,
Wash.
right? And stuff. And then you get whatever's left and you add those up. And then that is the whole game.
Yeah, you play 3 rounds, best out of 3
Right.
wins, and that is it. Yeah.
One of the things I think is neat is that you don't necessarily have to pick from your side.
Oh, yeah.
You can
I didn't
pick
even
from
say that.
either side and force someone to take the other card. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy to just draft from your own or pick from your own side.
I did keep forgetting when I was first taught the game that it was just like, please look at the opponent's side because you might want to take those cards instead because then you're forcing them to take the cards in front of you, which then unbury more cards on your side, right? This was very, when he set it up, I said, ooh, 7 Wonders Duel. This isn't something I see very often. I very much like this kind of card system. Anyway, that's the brief how to play. It's super easy.
Yeah, it is. It is. And again, right, so Dan said, oh, pick one of these. Really, you can pick one, you can shuffle them up, and you just flip it over. That's the one you're going to do, and then the next round, you just do another one.
Yeah. I mean, you're still picking it randomly.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you explained it wrong.
I'm just saying.
But the rule book is short and sweet, very easy to understand.
It's a nice size.
And it is your absolute score. So you could win with -12 if the other player has positive 3 or 13, or not 13. But
we ended with positive numbers, so that didn't really come into effect, Dan. But technically, you could shoot the moon and go for oh, I got -10, but it's the absolute value, so technically it's 10.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. As we both
learn
finished
something new every day.
Yeah. We finished with positive points, so it was kind of irrelevant.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I mean, so anyway, usually we would then kind of talk about the basic components of the game. For that though, this is gonna be real quick and fast. The thing that is interesting is this is basically a pocket game, is what I would call it, right?
Yep.
They have designed everything to fit inside this little box. It's just a card game, so you can carry this around wherever you want. That does lead to one problem that some people have, which is totally understandable, that makes the rule book very small. So if you have trouble seeing, like maybe Tim, then sometimes people are gonna, you might need glasses or something to read it, but it was fine for me, right? But yeah, so everything fits inside this little thing. You just have the little rule book, the setup cards, the score cards, and the deck itself. Not linen. That's all I can say.
Oh, sure. And again, this is a pre-production
copy. Of course. That's why we don't go too into components.
But I don't know what else you add, right? There's no bits. There's no
I was wondering
chits.
where the miniatures were going to come in. For sure.
So that's where you just lay out the miniatures.
Stretch goals.
You get your box of miniatures out, and then you put them on top of the cards, and then that way
I want a life-size sun and a life-size moon as trackers, right?
Oh,
for your sets. That'd be very useful. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we're just gonna get Bob a sun costume and have him.
Whoa,
stand
he
there.
just said you're the size of the sun, Bob. Because
I've been losing weight, Tim, but
Well, I didn't want to give him the moon costume because that would go the wrong way.
Oh,
Be
boy.
like,
I'll
here we
show
go."
you the moon.
Yeah, it doesn't have a back on it.
Yeah, you gotta subscribe to our Patreon for
Yeah.
that, though.
Jeez.
But yeah, I mean, this is really pretty straightforward. Otherwise, components wise, I'm going to assume the art's not going to change, and I like
sure.
I like
I
the
like that,
artwork.
yeah.
I think the artwork's really good.
Yeah.
I enjoy it
cutesy.
quite a bit. Mike, you're the Alice in Wonderland
Expert.
fan here.
Yeah.
You are the expert. What do you think?
The art is fantastic. The Mad Hatter's interesting, but I really like the art on everybody. I like the fat caterpillar. He's pretty cool looking. Their interpretation, the really cartoony
White Rabbit.
White Rabbit is kind of cool too, but not my favorite Cheshire Cat. But otherwise, I think the art's really cool.
It's not menacing enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Looks too friendly.
It's also a very interesting interpretation of the Jabberwock.
He's also on a card with Alice,
Right.
and the Cheshire Cat's like my favorite character. I'd want him to be the entire
His own
card. Minor stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 7 points off the game.
Yeah.
right? If
it-
you're
so
rating
So we're
it
down
there.
to a 3. Let's see where it goes from there.
So I don't know if we're transitioning to thoughts.
We can, yeah. I mean, it's not an overly complex game, so there's no sense in and there's not a ton
Game
of
is
components.
great. The gameplay is really, really interesting. I like how you can pick from either side, and no matter what you're doing, you know that a card is being taken from the other side. And I love the dichotomy of scoring. There was one game I played with Tim where I was actually trying to score positively, and I won by having the biggest negative score.
Yeah.
I was trying to score positively.
Yes.
But there's more than one way to win, and I really like how that scoring is done. A lot. That's there's an interesting puzzle here for such a quick, cheap game.
Yeah. And again, this is one of those games where it's like you play it the first time to learn it, and then immediately afterwards you're like, oh, I can do better. And so then you can, obviously it lends itself to play again. It plays so quickly. You're going to spend as much time setting up, which is not that long, as you are like basically going to, once you start drafting, and once that starts to get going, it plays nice and fast and breezy. And again, a pocket game. I just throw this, in my pocket or in the front pouch of my backpack, like you could have this in your sling bag walking around Gen Con. Well, I'm going to get some food. I'm waiting, to meet up with everybody. All right, Bob, let's just play this on
Got a
the
little
table
table
real
space,
quick.
yeah.
You don't need a ton of room, and you just need to have enough space to set up your tableau, really. It's quite good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, it's fun. 2-player games aren't really my thing, but also this is a 5-minute
2-player game.
Yeah, on the box it says 20 minutes. I mean, you guys got to be some hardcore.
Well, to play all 3
thinkers.
rounds, 20 minutes.
I guess that's true. I don't think of it like that in my head. Never mind. They're only off by 5 minutes then, according to my example.
Right.
but yeah. I mean, if you like, this is a 2-player set collection drafting game, and if you like that, this is a clever little version. It's not gonna blow your mind, right? It's not gonna be number 1 on BGG, but that's not what it wants. It's a nice, affordable, fun family game.
Right.
Yeah, and again, the aspect of forcing your opponent to
take a
draft the
card.
opposite one.
Yeah.
Because there were definitely times, right, when we're playing this that it's like, well, I know you've already got 3 of those,
Exactly.
so here's your fourth.
Here's your fourth
I don't
one.
even need this one. I just
Yeah.
want you to have that, the
Yeah.
one across.
Well,
from
and
it.
that's what I love about this card system. Like in Seven Wonders Duel, you look at this setup. The cards are all set down, and then your head goes, okay, ding 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 ding. Like, what order do I need to grab things to try to not only take what I want but avoid what I don't need?
Right.
And then obviously your opponent taking card every turn is going to change that, right? But still, like I like this card system. I mean, in Seven Wonders, I guess it's like face up, face down, face up, face down.
right.
So that would change things. But still, this whole blocking, so like these are available once this is taken thing. I think that's a really cool system that I'd like to see done more. And so it's cool to see it in this type of game.
Sure. Bobby, you got anything else to add?
You guys have pretty much said it all already.
Good.
So.
All right.
Oh, this one wouldn't make these
On the
two
upside,
available. Wouldn't
another
make
good
that
thing
one
too,
available.
though, is it's suns and moons, so no color issues or nothing like that.
Yeah, iconography is strong.
Yep.
It's very easy.
Yep.
And again, they do a really nice job of breaking down scoring on that card.
Yeah, it's
And-
a little complicated. I hope you can handle it. it's just that. So.
It is. It is. All right. So because this is a Kickstarter preview, we're not going to give this a rating from like 1 to 10 like we would for a published game, but we will go around and just say whether we recommend it or not. Bobby?
Yeah, if you like Dan was saying, 2-player, quick little set collection game, cheap little price point, I'd recommend it for that.
Right on. What do you think, Mike?
I like games like this. I like this game. You will like this game too.
Whoa, that was like his political speech.
That's right.
Yeah, I recommend the game again. Like what I said earlier, and Bob just kind of reinforced. When looking at this, I like that kind of game. This is a good one. Check this out. And like you hinted at, I think a second ago, or maybe Bob, this is going to be very affordable.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah, so
only
that's gonna be
$100.
nice.
What?
Yeah.
No, nice. Probably very reasonably priced game. We don't know. The Kickstarter's not live yet, but it's a deck of cards.
Right.
But yeah, the production value is really nice on it. It's simple. And again, I like the forced draft aspect of it. It makes it even more interesting. And again, thematic, right? Reflections, because you're pulling
the opposite one.
Right. So it just nice little game, does a lot of things right and not much wrong.
I really like the scoring. You could have 3 sun cards for +3, but if you're forced to take a fourth, that fourth card is now -1. That is a loss of 4 points, which can be colossal. I love the
Or evidently
scoring.
good if you just
Love
switch your
or just
tactic.
let's just add extra cards to all my sets.
Maybe
which is a viable
Tim was
strategy.
paying attention and not just trying to give him negative points.
Yeah.
That's why that scoring is so important and so interesting. 2 moon cards is +2 points, but 3 is -3. That is a huge swing in a low scoring game. So I really like the dichotomy of scoring in this.
Yeah, very strong recommend. This is a lot of fun. This is really good. I'm glad we got the opportunity to look at it. And we weren't paid to do this. I just asked the guy, hey, we'd love to check out your game. So, for Lucky at Funds, we're going to ask him for a review copy so that we can do a proper review once the Kickstarter was very successful.
You're not sending this back.
Oh, snap.
Oh, was that out loud? My bad.
All right, guys. This has been Reflections from Electric Pepper Games. I got it now. And for the Board Game Rundown, I've been Tim.
Bob.
Mike.
Dan.
We'll see you next time.
Electric Pepper.